Good afternoon, everyone. This is a meeting of the Records and Public Safety. First item on is a call to order. The second item is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3 is an adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Support.
I have Commissioner Hall and Commissioner Perna.
That's a rarity.
Please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, item 4 is approval of minutes from the Joint Public Services and Records and Public Safety Committee minutes dated December the 4th, 2025. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Van Sickle.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Goyke, supported by Commissioner Van Sickle. Please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you. Item 5 is public participation. This is the first opportunity for public participation and is for those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any item which is on today's agenda. The second opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak on any issue, and that'll be at the end of the meeting. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on public participation on anything that's on the agenda? I think you're it, young lady. No, huh? Mm-mm. No? Okay. I'm going to close public participation, and I'm going to go to Records and Public Safety Committee Department recommendations. Item A is a contract with West Publishing Online Research, Legal Research, in the amount of $83,408.31. I need a motion to recommend this to full board.
So moved.
Support Center.
I have a motion by Commissioner Howard, supported by Commissioner Zinner. And do we have anybody here from the Public Defender's Office who wishes to speak? It says Aaron. Is there an Aaron?
This is Erin. Yes.
Hi, Aaron.
Hello, good
Welcome.
afternoon.
Go ahead.
My name is Erin Furs, calling from the Public Defender's Office. This is our a contract for legal research with West. It is approximately a 5-year contract. Each year is under $20,000. But the total value of the contract is approximately $83,000. We are a 100% grant-funded department. And I'm happy to answer any questions that the board has regarding that contract.
I messed it up. Can I see a hand count? Does anybody has any questions? Seeing none and hearing none, please vote.
Do we have a vote?
What did I miss here when I tried to get them, pull them up? Oh, there it is.
Did the vote come up?
Could I pull it up? All right, thank you.
Is that our yes?
Thank you. Motion passes 12-0.
You were pretty quick there.
I'm sorry.
Motion passed 12-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Item B is a budget amendment with the Sheriff's Department, Law Enforcement, Harrison Township Amendment Number 1 for $210,918. I need a motion to, I'm going to motion to recommend items 6B and 6C to full board.
Zinner will motion.
Board.
Commissioner Zinner made the motion and Commissioner Haas supported it. And we have Commander Jason Abro here to explain what he wants $210,000 for.
Okay, well, first of all, Happy New Year. Nice to see all of you here today. This is at no cost to the county. Harrison Township is wishing to add a deputy and a vehicle to provide to their township from February 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2027. The total amount of the contract was $427,996, revenue recorded in Fund 101. And as far as the budget amendment goes, we're looking to amend the Sheriff's Department Road Patrol Division Cost Center C306702, an amount of $210,918 by increasing personnel expenditures and capital outlay, with a corresponding increase in charges for service and revenue. Again, this is at no cost to the county. This is fully funded and paid for by Harrison Township.
Thank you, Commander. Any speakers? Seeing and hearing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Let's go to item D, which is also a budget amendment. Sheriff's Department, correct position allocation, $270 and $270,192. I need a motion report to forward this to full board. I'm going to do items 6D and 6E. 6E is other action position control for Sheriff's Department, and we have Captain Jeffrey McPherson here. I need a motion to recommend both to full board.
So moved. Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Van Sickle, supported by Commissioner Howard. You're up, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I have a request for a budget amendment for the fiscal year 2026. The Sheriff's Office had received an increase in our secondary road patrol fund from the state of Michigan, which is a grant for the 2024-25 cycle, which allowed us to move 2 deputies from F101 to F207. That grant was reduced for the 25-26 grant. The Sheriff's Office did not learn about the changes until the funding was submitted, or the budget was submitted to Finance. Finance made those changes, if I understand correctly, to F207, but did not reflect it in F101. So we are requesting those 2 positions to be moved back to F101 for 2026.
Thank you, Kevin. Commissioner Goyke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for coming. So, seeing how that was a grant, what was the specifics of it? Was that anything for that to give road patrol to the communities that do not pay the extra Adobe to run? So, like the 4 communities in the north that do not have any protection, is that what that was for?
It's secondary road patrol, so that's accident prevention. It's patrolling communities that don't have their own departments, so yes. And it also encompasses the, any communities that have adopted the Sheriff's Office to enforce their local ordinances. So I believe the city of Roseville, the city of Fraser, and the city of Centerline have also adopted a resolution to allow the sheriff's deputies to enforce local ordinance in their communities. But yes, secondary road patrol does work in the northern communities that don't have their own police departments. They work all throughout the county in our contracted areas as well as those communities.
So this amount of fund is basically just 2 cars, or is it 1 car 24/7, or is it 2?
It provides, we have a sergeant, and then we have 3 deputies assigned to the bureau, and they work mostly days, afternoons, but we flex their shifts for whatever needed. Their primary focus is enforcement, so they work northern communities, they work throughout the county where needed.
Okay, and then, so did anybody do any digging in to find out if, why the grant expired, or is it just a one-time thing that came from Lansing, or is it a federal grant, and to see why it?
No, the grant has actually been around since 1978, I believe. Don't quote me on the exact year, somewhere around there. The Secondary Road Patrol Fund was established, and I've been a member of the Traffic Bureau. That's what Secondary Road Patrol Bureau before, and we have lost funding throughout the years. My understanding is we were able to add those 2 positions because the state had some extra money left over from COVID funds. So we had that stable kind of number. We had some extra money from the state, so we moved those funds to the Secondary Road Patrol to help beef up the bureau a little bit. And unfortunately,
Yeah, just understanding, because I actually, in my previous political stuff, I actually added money in the appropriations for road patrol only at one point, and I was curious if it was still continuing on that at the Lansing level.
yeah, I believe they actually have changed the funding mechanism for it as well. It used to come from $10 of every moving violation used to fund the Secondary Road Patrol. I believe they moved that funding from the marijuana funding, I believe somehow. There's a different mechanism for the funding, but the grant is still going, and we are providing the services still.
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on up there all the time usually because and then money went to library fund instead on some of the other stuff. So that's why I was just curious. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Captain, I'm going to ask for a vote on this, to move this to full board, but there are additional questions that have to be answered, but we'll propose those to you at a later date before we finally approve it for next Thursday board. So with no other, whoops, look what jumped up. We got a lot of people want to talk to you.
Okay.
I have Chair Sabatini, please.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Captain. How are you?
Good, sir.
So a couple questions. Why were, with your department, why could you not use your existing budget to pay for this change with general fund dollars?
My understanding is, talking to our fiscal analyst, is that we move those bodies to the secondary road patrol fund. We lost that funding, so we're moving those bodies back to our general fund, I believe it is, which I believe we had openings in. So I don't think it's an increase per se in our funding. That change didn't make it to the board in time from finance, is my understanding of it.
Okay, so you're moving it from special revenue into general fund, right? And you're short at 270,000 and change. So within your general fund budget, I guess that's my question is, there should be, I would think you could find that amount of money to keep that through, at least for this, let's just say for the first half of the year. And then if a budget amendment is due later, we could do a budget amendment. Because typically what happens, I mean, just county policy, how we've always operated is when grants go away, positions go with them. And obviously this is a little unique in this sense, and this happened at a later date. But I guess even during our budget process, and this is something as the board continuously improves the budget process, there's obviously a lag time there between when you submit your budget and when we adopt the budget. So I'm just trying to understand, even through that process, if we knew that the grant was not going to go through, or there was going to be a reduction or change in that grant, that's really when we would have liked to have known that, so that when we adopt the budget, we could incorporate this right into the budget rather than wait till January if we didn't have to. But sometimes it never works out perfectly. So the other thing too, in regards to your position count, I know we've been working on this with the sheriff to get that reconciled based on what's in the budget right now, because there's some inconsistencies. And I'd really like to get that fixed before we move on this position control change, because I just would rather just do it all at once. But we can follow up with you on these items. Personally, I'm okay with moving this to full board. We've got a week here to figure all this stuff out. And then we can take it from there. I guess that would be my suggestion. So,
I know that there has been, they've been working tirelessly, our administrative coordinator that works with the undersheriff and our fiscal analyst, making sure that those numbers are correct. And I think there was some, nothing intentional, but maybe some things that got missed along the way. And certain points where those numbers were lining up in one place and not the other.
Yep.
So.
and we just want to get that all buttoned up. That's all we want.
No,
So,
absolutely.
thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I have Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Captain, again. You mentioned Roseville. Does this mean that a car will be patrolling in Roseville as well?
I used to, when I was in the secondary road patrol, when we would do traffic safety grants. My understanding is that Roseville, Fraser, Centerline adopted to allow the sheriff's office to write citations under local ordinance. So when we would go down there to write traffic tickets, that the city would get some of that money. Because if we didn't write it under local ordinance, so let's say we go down there for a click it or ticket,
I'm well aware
those
of all
operations that
this.
we used to work, those operations, the sheriff's office, state police used to send troopers or deputies along with Roseville policemen to work those operations. When I would write a ticket, if I'm not allowed to write it under local ordinance, I write it under state law. Well, the city of Roseville doesn't see as much of that revenue. So by adopting that to have the sheriff's office enforce local ordinances in the cities of like Roseville, the city gets a little bit more of that money. So we can, if we those grants, the way they used to operate, work a little differently now. But yeah, when I go down to Roseville and I write a ticket in Roseville under local ordinance, the city does see a little bit more of that money.
Yeah, we had this conversation many years ago when I was mayor, when we stationed 2 state troopers in the precinct in Roseville. It was quite contentious, would be the best way I could put it. But they ended up being there. Secondly, I just read an article that MSP is now asking the locals to respond to emergency calls on the expressway. Are you guys aware of that?
The sheriff's office has always handled calls in our contracted areas of responsibility. We've never called the state police in Harrison Township, I-94. Harrison Township's a community that contracts with the sheriff's office for police service, as does Lennox Township. We respond to all traffic crashes on the freeway. The state police, we're great partners with them. We work to provide the services as best we can, but we don't ship phone call or 911 calls for car accidents and things like that to the state police. We're the primary law enforcement agency for those communities, and we respond. So how
Okay,
other communities handle that, that's their own policy, but the sheriff's office, we handle our areas.
Well, they weren't making it a policy, they were asking for assistance because of being shorthanded. So that has no impact on the sheriff's resources, is what you're saying?
We're continuing business as usual. I've seen the memo from the post commander, and we are continuing business as usual.
Thank you. That's all I have, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very thankful for another deputy coming to Harrison Township. I know when I'm driving around, I see the deputies moving and doing whatever they do. There are many, of course, many. You know more what they do than I do, but I know they're busy. But I know in the north, I had someone that I personally knew about 2 years ago say to me, well, we really don't have many police up here, so we have the state police up here that oversee us. And I said, oh, I didn't realize that. And I don't know if that's the whole area. I don't know if that's factual. Can you explain that, or is that wrong?
No, I'd love to talk about that. Lennox Township provide contracts with the sheriff's office to provide 24/7 police coverage to Lennox Township, the village of New Haven. Contracts with the sheriff's office to provide 24/7 police service to the village of New Haven. Washington Township contracts with the sheriff's office to provide 24/7 police service to Washington Township. The sheriff has stationed deputies 24/7 out of the Bruce Township substation, which is located out of the district court in Bruce Township, Romeo on Powell Road. The deputies work out of there, 33 in Powell, 24/7, and we work hand in hand with the state police. We dispatch the troopers over our radio. We're the primary answering point for all 911 calls in that area. We take the calls, we divvy them up, we work hand in hand with the state police to provide the best coverage we can for the communities that don't have 24/7 dedicated police presence. So that would be Bruce Township, Armada Township, Richmond Township, and Ray Township. Being somebody that lives in the north end of Macomb County, I see the deputies, I see the troopers, we do the best we can with the resources we have. So there may be, not as many police officers as you would see in those other communities, but again, they've made a choice to have dedicated resources in those other communities, so.
So are there more, are there state police more, are they more likely to be in that area? Do they cover that area
They
to
have
a
a,
degree more?
they have a detachment in Bruce Township as well.
So that's
So we have
why.
a substation in Bruce Township, and the troopers have a
Right.
detachment in Bruce Township, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Chair Sabatini. Nope. Okay. I have a motion in support. Please vote.
Joe asked my question.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Cap. Item F is a resolution for 2026, item 14873, a resolution to approve legal services for the Office of Prosecuting Attorney. I need a motion, recommend this to full board.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gorky and supported by Commissioner Howard. Hold on a second here. Ooh, Mr. Biondo's ready to speak on it. Okay,
It's the
Mr.
beginning of the
Biondo,
year.
please do.
Thank you for the introduction, and I just simply wanted, on behalf of Prosecutor Lucido, to thank Committee Chair Romano, Board Chair Sabatini, and the rest of the board for approving the agenda today that included the packet that we submitted all the way back on December 15th. I just simply wanted to say I'm happy to answer any questions in detail regarding the procedural history or the substance of the contracts, but this is really, from our point of view, a routine thing at this point. The legal services contracts are the same format language as the previous year. The hourly rates are the same, and so I just wanted to hit the highlights. And again, let you know I'm happy to answer any questions the board might have on this item. Thank you.
Thank you. We do have some questions. Don't leave us yet. Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chair. Joe, is the verbiage on this resolution identical to what was passed last year?
So technically, no, because the mix of attorneys is different, but I included the previous resolutions that the board has approved as a template for the BOC staff. The resolution I reviewed today, that's up for today with the 4 attorneys as we requested, the language is, in my opinion, the same as the previous resolutions.
That's all I need. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12 to 0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Item G is a resolution, 2026-14875, a resolution deeming prosecuting attorney positions necessary and fixing salaries of assistant prosecuting attorneys and other employees appointed by prosecuting attorney under Public Act 329 of 1925 as amended. I need a motion to recommend this to full board.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hall, supported by Commissioner Perna.
I don't want Jimmy supporting, no motion.
Any questions? Seeing and hearing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12 to 0.
Thank you. Item 7 is public participation. This is where the public can speak for a minute of 3 minutes on any item. Aaron, you're the only one left here. You want to speak? Mr. Bionda, would you like to speak?
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to close public participation, and I'm going to go to commissioners' comments. Oop, let's try that one. I don't see any commissioners who want to make any comments. Is there any commissioners who want to make a comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Support.
Please vote.
Motion passes 12 to 0.
Thank you.
Shortest meeting.
Careful on the way home, guys.